Hello everybody, welcome back to Hyrule Kings. This is day 43 on my Persona 5 day tracker. Today we started off with Pro getting the treasure. This means he's fighting Madarame today, and he's gonna win because he's proficient at his job. So, after we get through a lot of Madarame yapping, we beat him, get a bit of hint of the Black Masked Man, and Yusuke gets Sayuri. Good for him, and we move along. We also get to progress Morgana's social link, but it's Morgana, so I don't really care that much. Let's read a book after we're done. Then Noble decides to send out a calling card today, and then study. Then we go over to Kindly, who decides to go into the palace today, after helping Yusuke yesterday. So we find our way to the treasure room, collect the last will seed, figure out how to steal the treasure, and, get things done with strength. We try and do strength every chance we get, because that strength is free. So, yeah, we do that. We also see Gutsy going to, Madarame Palace Day 2, which means that we fight this guy, find out what Madarame is doing, stealing art and all that. Open the door so we can come back in later. And then we recruit Yusuke. Congratulations to Yusuke. He will be joining us on the team, obviously, as a replacement for Morgana. Yes, he's really strong and really cool. We escaped the palace with Yusuke. Basically, recruit him to the team. And, have a bit of a laugh. And then, after we make some tools, we go to Charmer, who goes to Madarame Day 1. And, that means we stop at the door, convince Anne to go along with the plan, and, gotta prepare for that tomorrow. We also, make some coffee to progress Soldier Social Link. We then go to, Lazy, who hangs out with, Maruki. Everybody's going to be trying to hang out with Maruki, as Maruki's the only way to get the final 3. And then we go to sleep. Red also hangs out with Maruki, as Maruki is available on most school days. So, we got to do that when we can. Once we get to rank 5, he's going to be locked down for us for a while. But, we also hang out with Mishima, the worst social link, and progress that. We got to do. Thank you all for watching. Hello everybody, and welcome back to Hyrule Kings. This is day 44 of my Persona 5 day tracker. Today we start off by seeing what Takemi has to say about, stuff. And then we go and hang out with Ryuji. Pro needs to catch up with Lazy and some of the others to get Ryuji, headed on. We also watch a movie. Then we go over to Noble, who steals a treasure. This means he gets to fight Madarame today. And, see all the stuff about Yusuke's mom and all that. So, after a big monologue, we start his fight, win, and get a hint about another recruiter in the palace. We leave, Yusuke gets Sayuri, and, we congratulate ourselves for defeating Madarame. We head home, we talk to Morgana, and then we study. We get a bit of talk with Igor after we go to bed, and then we go to Kindly. We go send out a calling card. Then we go over to Gutsy, who goes to Madarame Palace Day 3. This is a great step for him, and we do that. We gotta do what we gotta do, and everyone's very happy with ourselves as we find our way to the treasure, get the last will seed, find a way to steal it, help strength, and head home. We also make tools. And then we go to Charmer, who does Madarame Palace Day 2. This means Anna has to mess with Yusuke for a while. Distract him, make sure we can get into the door. We do that. We defeat the little enemy here. We learn about Madarame stealing stealing artwork, and selling that. Then we open the door, get Yusuke into the palace, and after a bit of struggle, we show him around, fight Madarame, Yusuke awakens to his persona, which means he will now be replacing Morgana. Because he's strong, has good ice magic, and all that kind of stuff. He will be a consistent member of the party, along with some other ones we'll be getting later. He unofficially joins the Phantom Thieves, and we have him now. And then we go make some coffee. We gotta do what we gotta do. We go to Ren, who hangs out with Ann Takamaki after finishing the palace. It is his best girl, and gotta do what you gotta do. We do our thing, and then we hang out with Takemi. Gotta do this stuff to activate her quest line. And she's a maid and a teacher. Ooh, spicy drama. So, thank you all for watching. Hello everybody, welcome back to Hyrule Kings. This is day 45 of the Persona 5 Day Tracker. Today we started with Pro going to hang out with Ryuji today. You gotta progress that social link, and because you already completed the palace, you gotta do what you gotta do. So, we encounter a guy at the gym, and decide to really not come back here. After we go home, we hang out with Mishima. And to be honest, a lot of people do this kind of stuff today, and so we're not gonna see a lot of separate activities for everybody. Gotta do what we gotta do, and we also hang out with the teacher, Kamakami. And then we see Noble reading, as he also hang out with Ryuji today. Then go to Kindly, who is fighting, Madarame. And gotta do what you gotta do. And, we progress pretty far. We fight Madarame. And, it is a big boss fight as we learn about what Madarame did to Yusuke's mom. We fight him, we win, because we're good. And we get a hint about future events. We decide to leave. Yusuke gets Sayuri. And he officially joins the Phantom Thieves. And after we're done talking, we go hang out with Morgana. Morgana does Morgana things. And then we get to see Charmer really quickly, doing some things. And then we go, that was Kindly, but here's Charmer, sending out the calling card to do his thing. And then we go over to see, Charmer needs to do his thing. And hang out at the palace and all that. We progress along, find our way to the treasure, get the last will seed, find a way to steal the treasure, and then decide that we're gonna send out the calling card very soon. We also hang out with Strength, gotta do that because Strength is really nice to have. We leave, we make some coffee, then Lazy hangs out with Ryuji, progressing really far into the social link. He will try and max it out, just, might as well. And, we gotta move along with all that kind of stuff. We learn about some of the troubles of the team. We make Ryuji happy, and then we see Ren also hanging out with Ryuji. A lot of people are hanging out with Ryuji today as we need to progress the social link. And then Ren hangs out with Yoshida by hanging out, working at the beef bowl shop. Thank you all for watching. Hello everybody, welcome back to Hyrule Kings. This is day 46 of my Persona 5 Day Tracker. We start off today with getting a classroom question correct. Might as well, as we are very smart and know what we're doing. Then we go to Pro, who works at the flower shop, and then reads a book at LeBlanc's. Gotta do what you gotta do. Then we go to Noble, who studies at the library, and then hangs out with Mishima to meet Kawakami. This is just kind of set up her social link in the future, and other stuff. So after Ryuji and Mishima leave us behind, we realize our teacher is a maid as a secondary job. Very happy for, she's trying her best to get money for personal reasons, but it's kind of embarrassing that we got in this situation. And then we go to Kindly Joe after completing the palace, hangs out with Ann Takamaki. We gotta do what we got. She wanted to, we gotta kind of want to do this. She will not be the relationship Kindly we're going after, but it raises kindness and they're good friends. So after we're done hanging out with her, we read a book. And then we go over to Gutsy, who does Madarame's final day, and we steal his treasure. This means that we will be having to escape and start the boss fight. We learn about what happened to Yusuke's mom and all that kind of stuff. After Yusuke gets the final bit of determination, we get ready and start the battle. This is a not super tough one, as we know what we're doing. We're really tough and we can handle this easily. We get a hint about somebody else in the metaverse, and then we leave. We make our way out, Yusuke gets Sayuri, and everyone's very happy for themselves. Good job, everybody. We make a great team. And so, after we've done that, we hang out with Morgana, raise up his social link, and read a book. Because, you know, there's a lot of books to read. And then we go to Charmer, who sends out the calling card today. That means he will be finishing up Madarame's palace tomorrow. And it will be the last thing for the metaverse for a little while. We also see Lacey just going to bed. And then we go to Ren, who, you know, hangs out with Anne. Because they are, you know, Ren has a crush, as they are kind of the canon relationship, so Ren will be doing that. And then, you know, we learn a bit more about Anne's social link and her struggles as a model. We help her through it, and, you know, we kind of progress along. And then we make some more coffee to help Sojiro. Thank you all for watching. Hello everybody and welcome back to Hyrule Kings. This is day 47 of my Persona 5 day tracker. Today we start off with Pro hanging out with Takemi. He needs some more medicine, and so he decided to go visit her. He also wanted to increase his guts, and so that's why he decided to focus on her social link today. This allows him to progress some stuff and get to rank 1. Good for him. He gets some guts and he moves on. And then he reads a book because, you know, gotta do what you gotta do. And then we go over to Noble, who does the Kawakami stuff. This means he gets to see that his teacher's actually a maid as a secondary job. You know, a bit scandalous, but, you know, nothing too bad happens. Just get a little funny scenes. Everyone leaves for the day. And most people hang out with Maruki today, so we'll be skipping a lot of day section because a lot of people are repeating themselves. So today, kindly hangs out with Maruki, progresses him pretty far in his rank. We then head out, get a bit more magic, and then read a book, you know. And then we go to Gutsy, who finishes up the palace stuff, meaning that he gets the fake treasure, almost gets caught by Madarame, and we see that Yusuke had some trauma. And so, after a bit of yapping, Yusuke helps us defeat Madarame. We get a bit of a hint about the other palace invader. We leave, Yusuke gets Sayuri, because it's a picture of his mom. And so, we head out, talk with Morgana, and Morgana talks about his memory loss, and then we make some coffee. Then we get Igor to talk to us for a little bit, and then we go to Charmer, who also talks with Maruki. Gets a different rank though, because he was a bit behind on talking to him. And so everybody will be caught up because Maruki is stopped at rank 5 for a little while. And so we can't really progress his social link for a little bit. Then we also hang out with Sojiro because, you know, why not? Racing kindness and getting things like coffee and curry really helps us out a lot. And so we head out, getting his max rank for now, and then we and then Lazy talks with Maruki, getting a bit of a higher rank, and, you know, wanting to figure out why he's like this, why he can't really do anything. And so after that, we head out, go to bed. Thank you all for watching. Hello everybody and welcome back to Hyrule Kings. This is day 48 of my Persona 5 day tracker. Today, we start off with Pro getting a burger challenge from Big Bang Burger. This is to increase his main social stats of charm, proficiency, guts, and all that. And then he also hangs out with Sojiro today. Sojiro's locked for a while on how far we can get with him. So we don't get his first, like, 4 out of the way, and then we're basically done with him. And get some kindness for it. We then go to Noble, who hangs out with Takemi, you know, progress her social link, get some guts, and all that kind of stuff. We are very well through with all this, and we get her ranked up pretty far, you know, and we're very happy with ourselves and get some nice guts. We also work at the beef bowl shop to get some proficiency and see the sun guy, Yoshida. Then we go to Kylie, who hangs out with Anne, you know, might as well. And we learn a bit about, like, her struggles and all that kind of stuff. We also get some kindness for helping her out. And we don't get to do a whole lot with that, but we progressed our social link and are very happy with ourselves. Best girl. And we move on. Then we read a book at LeBlanc's. And then we go over to Gutsy, who works at the convenience store, because he needed to get some charm to hang out with Takemi even further, and to progress our social link. And then we go and hang out with Kawakami to get the head to her social link, like learning that she is secretly a maid, seeing that, and all that kind of stuff. So we have our awkward little moment where we accidentally called our teacher to be a maid. We, you know, get tired because it was a very stressful moment, and then we head home, go over to Lazy, go over to Charmer, who, you know, hangs out with Sojiro to do his kind of stuff. And, you know, we also see Red hang out with Takemi to, you know, help with her social link. And, you know, it seems like we're doing kind of the same thing as some of the others, but hey, we gotta do what we gotta do. We don't get many chances to do this, and then we go watch a movie. We rinse our set. Thank you all for watching. Hello everybody, welcome back to Hyrule Kings. This is day 49 of my Persona 5 day tracker. Today we ain't doing a whole lot, and today is 2 nice events have happened today. First off, we go off to hang out with Ryuji, Anne, and Mishima to go to the town. You know, we go here, calm down Mishima about targeting random people, about, you know, we need to actually investigate the target and get one who, you know, is actually doing something wrong. But this is a nice bit of benefit as we get, like, points for everybody. So basically everyone's doing this, even though we can technically do other things. But this is a nice free event with 3 social links that give you points, so great to have. We do it, and, you know, it's great. It's a nice relaxing day. We don't do a whole lot. We also do some clothes shopping and all that kind of stuff, but we don't get any new outfits as costumes are DLC only, so, you know, nothing special. And yeah, because this is the only thing we're doing today, I don't got much to say. I really appreciate all the support you guys have been giving me. I hope you can please leave a like and hope you subscribe. Well, now that we've got our social link points, we decided to go walk around town, have a bit of a good time with everybody. Morgana yaps his mouth off because, you know, that's what Morgana does best. And Mishima can't hear him because, obviously, he's not a Phantom Thief. Which is kind of funny because it's, you know, pretty funny moment all around. The other thing we are going to be doing today, which will be, you know, is a nice interaction. So after we bully Mishima a little bit more, we made our way out. We'll be making our way out. But, you know, now we're done with that. We make our way home, and we get a nice text from Ryuji. This is to go watch a movie with him. This is a rare event for us, and so we'll do that. We get a nice bit social link points, because, you know, We're watching a movie with a friend, which means we get to basically rewatch this movie and get all the benefits. And then we head out. We have a nice chat with Ryuji, give him more social link points, and then we head home. This is all we're doing for today, and I really thank you all for watching.